fair use. Hello, Internet and the world. My name is Sharon, and I am a British mum. Well then, I have been away, haven't I? Well, don't blame me. I actually have fair reason. Shortly after the release of my first video, I got some feedback that my audio was actually quite droll. Well, no longer. I've returned, my little darlings, and now I have a brand new microphone. So, without further delay, let us traverse the land of the interweb once again. But this time, in stereo. There's more than a few videos that reside on the web that talk about a very touchy subject. And no, I'm not talking about porn. I'm quite aware of that. I'm talking about, of course, the buzz topic on no one's lips. Feminism. Arguably, one of the group's most prominent online speakers, Mrs. Laci Green, teaches us from time to time how to properly perform naughty things on individuals from whom you presumably love. Aside, however, from teaching us how to masturbate, Mrs. Green explains to us more about this mystical ideology so many of our children have become obsessed with. Feminism. Well then, let's listen, shall we? Oh, sex. Well, looks like we're off to a very great start.
The rumors are true. What they've been saying about me. I have to come clean. I, Laci Green, am a feminist.
Oh no. Well, I'm sorry, dear.
What? You're a lesbian now? Man-hater? Hairy armpits?
Hairy armpits. Angry. Why, I think the only thing that you forgot were very, very big glasses.
It ain't so! It's gonna be okay, those are just stereotypes. I think that feminism is both kick-ass and super important, and here are a few of my reasons why. I'm a feminist because girls are taught in public school that once she has sex, she'll lose a part of herself.
Really? Well, when I went to school back in the 70s, I always used to hear that if you were still a virgin by the time you reached university, society had failed you as a woman. No, well, that must be an American thing then, right? What you're talking about.
Because women who have a lot of sex are sluts while guys are studs. Amanda Todd, Felicia Garcia, Charisse Morales, because of the sexism that drove them to end their life.
Wait a moment. I thought it was bullying that made them end their lives. Yes, in fact, there was a worldwide anti-bullying campaign that started as a direct result of this. I suppose you could argue this pressure came as a direct result of sexist internalized misogyny ingrained in our Western culture. However, the striking question looms. Weren't most of the bullies who jeered those women themselves?
I'm a feminist because I was told the first time I had sex would be painful and bloody. I was terrified.
Well, I don't know about you, but the first time I had sex was painful and bloody. Indeed it was. It was in the back of a Winnebago, and he was all over the place. It was absolutely horrid, my darling. Horrid, I tell you.
Because 1 in 4 young women is assaulted and society still asks, what was she wearing? Because male victims of rape aren't believed since guys want sex all the time anyway, right?
Wait a moment. I have the sneaking suspicion that this question has an alarmingly high density of irony about it.
Because of catcalling and street harassment, because no, it is not a f***ing compliment. I'm a feminist because my first boyfriend sexually assaulted me, and when I went to my friends for help, they called me a slut. Because when I speak at universities about the absolute necessity of consent, there are people in the audience who laugh.
Well, that is troublesome, isn't it? I hate it when people laugh at me. I'm so sorry, Laci.
Because boobs are used to sell everything from burgers to soap, but don't you dare breastfeed out in the open.
Really? You're telling me they're used to sell everything, even burgers? So that's why I've always had a tingling sensation in my chest at tea time. It was the patriarchy.
Because this shocks and terrifies people. I'm not even kidding. You should see some of the looks that I get.
So wait. You are a hairy armpit feminist.
I'm a feminist because of how much pressure we put on girls to value their appearance above everything else. Because of labiaplasties, boob jobs, hymenoplasties. Because our culture considers it normal to cut off part of an infant's penis. I'm a feminist because male orgasm in the movies is rated PG-13, while female orgasm is rated R.
I actually never knew this. Then again, I'd rather my 2 children see neither, which is why I took them to see Zootopia. Yay.
I'm a feminist because in 2013 there were over 700 bills proposed to regulate a woman's body. And for men, the rightful number, 0. I'm a feminist because the political body making decisions about my body is over 80% male. Wow.
Well, yes. Men have no right to a woman's choices with her own body, this is true. However, if said men have to pay taxes when in regards to the issue, it does indeed become their problem.
Because men occupy the top rungs of not just politics, but every industry in the world. I'm a feminist because jobs!
I have a striking suspicion that she's going to be going on like this in some way for the entire video.
Women only hold 1 in 4 STEM jobs. We own 6% of TV stations, 5% of executive positions in the media. Because when I was younger and I took on a leadership role, all the adults in my life said, "You're being bossy."
I would think that there are less women in STEM fields because they, like yourself, are taking gender studies. And I've never been called bossy. But then again, I'm just a house mom. I'm not a feminist.
And let's not forget that sneaky little pay gap. By the time the average woman reaches 60 years old, she will have made $450,000 less than a man in the same exact position. That's like a fancy-ass house, a truckload of chocolate bars, or 10.
Really? I never made less than my fellow co-workers, and I worked as an in-betweener in animation. Well, then I met my ex-husband, of course. Then came my children. I suppose I do make less now. It's as if my personal life choices have somehow influenced the financial outcome of my life. Bother how that happens.
Hell, I'm not even surprised by it. At my first job, I learned that my less qualified male coworker was making almost twice as much as me.
Well, that's not right. How long was he put on for? Wait a moment. You're not going to tell me, are you?
I'm a feminist because the media told me that women are my competition, destroying my friendships with them for almost 20 years. Because gender roles! Because of that one-size-fits-all binary that shoves us into boxes and erases who we are. I'm a feminist because in 10th grade someone called my best friend a pussy and it tore him up for weeks. And I realized the worst insult was to be compared to a woman.
I was called a knobhead by my sister's best friend once. I had eaten a piece of cheese from outside of her lunch pail. It was without her knowledge. I tried to pin it on my sister's other best friend, Casey. Least I known, they were looking at me the whole entire time. I was a dirty little cheese eater. I don't think Casey ever forgave me for that. I wonder where that lass is now. I haven't heard from her in a long time.
Because boys are shamed for being emotionally open, because that's a girl thing, and womanhood is weak. Never mind the fact that it was most likely a woman who pushed your body out of her vagina.
Ah, yes, I've done it twice, and it hurt like hell. I love my children.
I'm feminist because my father never once did the laundry, made dinner, or cleaned the house. When I suggested he help, my grandpa told me I was out of my damn mind. Wow. Out of my mind? Am I taking crazy pills?
I don't think very many people say any of these things, Laci. I fear you may just have negative experiences with very negative people. I suggest you do as I had done at your age. That stop surrounding myself with such negative ideologies and surround myself with positive things. Ooh, like kittens. Yes, kittens are lovely, aren't they?
I'm a feminist because people still say that asexual, bisexual, and trans folk don't exist. I'm a feminist because same-sex marriage is a no-brainer. Because in 34 states, it's legal to discriminate against someone who's transgender. Really? I'm a feminist because representation, it matters! And LGBT folks, women, and particularly women of color, hardly ever have their stories told on.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but what does any of this have to do with feminism? LGBT, trans community. Back in the late 70s and 80s when I was growing up, feminism was about empowering women and picketing at things. Most feminists from my day could give a toss about all these other things you just mentioned. It seems to me like feminism today has become a simple buzzword to describe left-wing agenda seeking, as opposed to advocating for and fighting for women's rights.
Green. I'm a feminist because I believe that the world should be safe for girls everywhere. Because half the girls in Yemen will become child brides. Because 65% of Brazilians believe that a woman who dresses in revealing clothes deserves to be raped. Because in Saudi Arabia, women still can't vote or drive.
Yes, you are absolutely right. And all such horrid crimes. The feminists in those countries are doing excellent work by braving the trials of their land to fight for an equal society. Good thing for us, we have achieved those goals in our societies. We live in a very prosperous first world nation where opportunity is granted to us all at birth, and freedom of speech and freedom of expression reigns president over our developed societies. Wait, well, why do we need feminism again?
I'm a feminist because in every corner of the world, every day, women's bodies are used as a battleground in wars started by men. Raped, beaten, sold into slavery, mutilated, burned with acid.
My father served in the Second World War as an RAF pilot. He roared his Spitfire in the Battle of Britain, fighting against the National Socialists so that I may inherit a better world than he. He came back after the war and married my mum, who then had me. Unlike him, however, so many great men didn't return. So many fathers, so many sons, never again to laugh or to smile. Laci, women suffer as a result of war, but goodness, my dear, goodness, so do men too.
I'm a feminist because when I dare to get pissed off at injustice, I'm just another angry feminist who's on her period. I'm a feminist because of the reality that there are people who would take these words more seriously
if they were coming out of my mouth.
Most of all, I'm a feminist because I believe in gender equality. My eyes are open. My mind is active. I know we're not there yet. Thanks for supporting me here on Sex Plus Babes. I would like to know, are you a feminist? Tell me why or why not down below, and I'll see you next time. Mwah!
Well then, that was that, I suppose. Well, we did quite good, didn't we? And now for a chat. Hello, darlings. We all live in confusing times, don't we? Everyone's always yelling in your ear, do this, believe him, don't listen to her. It's a wonder how we make it through it all, isn't it? How we don't get lost amongst the sea of indefinite uncertainty. How we can manage to go forward in life, knowing this and despite this. Well, the answer is actually quite clear, and you've known it all along. There's nothing else. There will always be different opinions. Those trying to convince you that the other man's in the wrong. There will always be fights, scraps and scruffles. Conflict and argument is how we learn and resolve issues. It's a function ingrained in our human nature. However, my dears, I am here to tell you, there are some people who don't like to overcome certain issues, and there are some people who are the perpetrator of such arguments. These are your people who don't believe that a democratic society should exist as it should. That we cannot yell the mantra that we have literally in the past our ancestors lost life and limb for. This our free society. It is these people whose ideologies are dangerous. However, just because they are, that doesn't mean they don't have the right, just like you have the right not to believe them themselves. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, even though people like Laci Green may get on some people's nerves and put some people off, she has the right to believe what she believes. However, it's also up to her and hers to understand that others have the right to believe what they believe. Well, in her comment below, I would tell her that I'm not a feminist. I couldn't be, because to believe in feminism would mean that I don't believe in equality in its fullest extent. I don't believe that women are above men, and I don't believe that men are above women. I believe that we have been to the deepest oceans. We have been high in the sky. We've placed man on the moon. And it wasn't women, men, black, white, Russian, American, or British. It was human beings, all of us together collectively as a species, who have done and played out this, our greatest story, the story of our lives. Well, my second video, and already I feel like I've beat the patriarchy once and for all. Thank you all for supporting me all the way. And if you would like to support me now, please do like and subscribe, and I'll try my best to produce these videos as fast as I can, but being a mom does have its disadvantages. Do take care, and have a blessed day.